Hi, and welcome. John Morris Show on a Friday morning. Glad you are with us today. John Morris Show presented by the Brazos Landing in Waco, plus Alliance Bank, Central Texas. Fun hour ahead, and watch. This hour is going to go by really fast today. Coming up a little bit later, we'll visit with King McClure, former Baylor basketball standout, now doing great things with not only ESPN, but branching out, and they let those guys work now for NBC and Peacock and maybe even TNT. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's a separate group. But King McClure will join us. He is doing the game tomorrow as Baylor plays Arizona State in Foster Pavilion. And there's never not a good time to visit with King McClure. So stay tuned for that coming up in just a bit. We look forward to that. Heading into a big weekend in Baylor athletics, yes, in the Big 12 basketball as well. And that's where we start this morning. The schedule tomorrow is maybe, I'm not even going to say maybe, I'm going to say it's the best Saturday that we've seen in the Big 12 basketball realms this year. It includes a top 5 matchup, a top 4 matchup really in Houston, as fourth-ranked Arizona takes on number 2 Houston, 2 o'clock tomorrow on ABC. Those two tied for the league lead. They are both 11-2 in conference play, and meeting at the Fertitta Center tomorrow. Houston has won 51 of their last 52 home games. The only loss in there was that loss to Texas Tech last year. And then here comes Arizona in as the number 4 team in the nation. A week ago was number 1 in the nation and undefeated. So great matchup there in the headline game in the Big 12 tomorrow. 4th-ranked Arizona at number 2 Houston. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock, it's on ABC National Television. CBS game at noon is Cincinnati at number 8 Kansas. Fox at what time? 1:30 has K-State at number 13 Texas Tech. Red Raiders trying to bounce back from a loss to Arizona State. Oklahoma State plays at Colorado, West Virginia at TCU, UCF at Utah. And the nightcap late night in the Big 12 is 6th-ranked Iowa State at number 23 BYU. And that is the schedule in the Big 12 tomorrow. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's everybody playing on the same day, which might not have happened this year in league play. So all 16 teams playing each other, 8 separate games, and all spread out from noon till after midnight. You can watch Big 12 basketball tomorrow. Hope you can be in Foster Pavilion for the Bears and the Arizona State Sun Devils. We'll talk more about that with King McClure coming up in a bit. And how about Houston? Home hosting Arizona today. They just played who did they play? Got beat earlier this week. Iowa State. Yeah, at Iowa State. Houston lost up there on Monday, and then they host Arizona tomorrow, and then they go to Kansas to play KU on Monday. So a 3-game stretch against 3 top 10 teams for the Houston Cougars at Iowa State, home against Arizona, on the road at Kansas on a Monday, Saturday, and Monday. Quite a stretch. First time ever Houston has played 3 top 10 teams in a row, and that's life in the Big 12. So there's a look at the Big 12 schedule for tomorrow. We're off and running on this Friday. Let's take a break. When we come back, let you hear from Nicki, Collen. She was one of our guests on the Baylor Coaches Show last night. I think really I started to say bared her soul, but that's not really right. She was, I'll explain more when we come back, but a clip from the Baylor Coaches Show last night. When we come back, John Morris Show on a Friday, brought to you in part by the Brazos Landing. Great location there, right across the river from Foster Pavilion, right across the interstate from McLean Stadium. Easy access on and off the interstate, and a great menu to boot. Remember their $12 lunch menu. If you're thinking, hey, this is Friday, where's a good place to go for lunch, and you hadn't been there lately, check out the Brazos Landing. You'll appreciate the offerings that they have on that $12 lunch menu, and then an expanded menu for anytime, lunch or dinner. They are open every day except Monday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday, they deep clean the entire restaurant, and it's a great location and fun to be there, and a really, really good menu at the Brazos Landing. Check it out, thebrazoslanding.com. Take a break. Back with more John Morris Show on a Friday right after this. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
At DeCampli's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
My name is David Maddox, owner of Waco Foundation Repair. I've been in business right at 20 years, incorporated since 2003, and nonstop, very busy business to be in. We stay plenty busy with this good old Central Texas ground that constantly moves and does its thing. If you think you have foundation repair issues, call Waco Foundation Repair today.
Spring has sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe, honestly.
Back with us on a Friday. Glad you are with us. Brought to you in part by Alliance Bank Central Texas, your Central Texas business bank. Voted by Forbes 2025 Best in State Banks. Alliance Bank Central Texas values their relationships with their customers and their communities. Several locations across Central Texas. AllianceBankTexas.com. And thanks also to the Lake Waco Golf Club, a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill and pro shop. Become a member today. Check them out at LakeWacoGC.com. Lake Waco Golf Club. LakeWacoGC.com will get you more information. All right, mentioned our Baylor Coaches Show from last night. Fun night at Rudy's. Really nice crowd there. Whenever women's basketball is represented, the crowd just skyrockets, and that's great. Glad to have them there and glad to have the people that are there every week. But Nicki Collen was there last night. And I felt bad all day because for scheduling her for this date. She was great. and I'll let you hear from her in a moment. But they're in a stretch of 5 games in 12 days to close the regular season. They're fighting for a Big 12 championship. This weekend, they've got a Saturday, Monday turnaround, Arizona Saturday, and then K-State on Monday. That's always tough. And then here we throw the Baylor Coaches Show at her on Thursday. And they're coming off the loss just back from Lubbock, where they lost big to Texas Tech. And one of the questions from our audience last night was, first, the guy, and he'll remain anonymous, had this long question. I'm a Baylor women's fan, and I am discouraged. Help me not to feel so discouraged. And then he came up and said, no, don't ask that question. My wife says it's embarrassing. Don't put Nicki on the spot. But we did. She saw the question, and here is her response. Listen how she answers that about being discouraged after the loss to Tech, but maybe take a step back and see where Baylor, the women's program, really is. From Anonymous, he says, I'm a big women's basketball fan. Help me not be discouraged after last night's game. Help us out.
Well, as a big women's basketball fan, I was also discouraged after last night. So, I also have learned, I have a 10 a.m. rule, just so, like if there's ever any questions, I obviously didn't sleep last night, and my voice may reflect that. I may not be quite as chipper as I always am, but, at 10 a.m., it's got to be gone. It's got to be, I've got to be focused on, what do we have to do? And when you are in a situation, it's like when I think about women's basketball fans at Baylor, and I say this with all due respect, we're very spoiled, because what does success look like, and the expectation that discouragement when we're 1 game out of first place with 3 games to go. I have to remind myself, I have to have that kick in, that everything that we have wanted and has been our goal is still there. And so I think about how, we 2 years ago with the Sweet 16 team, I think we lost 3 of 4 in a stretch. And then it kicked in at the right time. And every team kind of can go through these lulls, and it's about how long do you stay in them. We talk a lot about, these stages of teams, and you have these storming phases where things don't go the way you want them. And it's not that every team doesn't have storms; it's how quickly do you get out of them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the goal of this group. We got to get out with it. And it doesn't mean we don't have good talent. And I also think when you look at Tech's team, yes, we have a senior-laden team, but our leading scorer is a sophomore. And I'm excited about the young players in our program and what they can do in the future. But I also think, you guys, the portal's going to portal. And you look at Texas Tech and why are they successful right now? Bailey Maupin's been there, for 4 years, just like our seniors have been here for 4 years. But Snuda Collins is a 1-year, killer. And I mean that in the best possible sense. Like, she's the difference maker for them, because she's come in and they bring her off the bench, but she's a starter. Mm-hmm. And the combination that they have with 8 and 9 seniors. Nunez had a great game last night for them and is a 1-year kid. And so you can get it right. And if you get the right culture around the right group of people, I'll get discouraged in a moment and I'll get disappointed. But I also think that we have a lot to sell here. And I know that we've always had success in the portal when it comes to next year, but I'm not done with this year. And I don't think anyone on my staff or anyone on my team. And so we're going to fight like heck for that group in the locker room. And when you're still like heck for a group that still has a chance to win a conference championship, I don't know that it's been a long time since Baylor fans should truly be discouraged. It's been a long time since this program hasn't been competing for conference championships. And so we're still there. And so I don't think anything changes from that perspective. So hopefully that gives you some encouragement. It doesn't mean, there are games, like I learned this in the pros, and I know the pros is very different. But there are some nights that teams just don't have it. And there's no answer. it's not like we didn't have, I don't want to get in that rut saying, oh, we had great practices and then blank, like I think our team is loose. I think they play their best when they're loose. And I think they were excited. I think they thought, okay, we got beat by 1 at home and we have Talia Scott coming back and we didn't have her for that game. But we ran into a team that we made mistakes early defensively and they took advantage, and sometimes they're going to miss those shots. Well, last night they made them and they continued to make them. And they, when you make mistakes and teams take advantage of them, they have a night, and I think that can happen anywhere around the country. Texas Tech men went in and lost at Arizona State. And they weren't supposed to lose at Arizona State. So I think there's a lot of things happen when Texas Tech is a good team that's having a great year, and they have a core group of players that's really competing at a high level. So I give them a lot of the credit. I'm disappointed with the way we showed up, but I also think that Texas Tech is a really connected, really good basketball team.
There you go. That's Nicki Collen from last night on the Baylor Coaches Show, and I think maybe it was therapeutic for her to talk through that and talk to the fans and the listeners and the viewers that were there and watching and listening last night on the Baylor Coaches Show. So really good and a good message like, are you discouraged? All right, think about all the other teams, women's basketball teams in this league. They've probably got a reason to be discouraged a lot more than Baylor women's fans should be because of the history of success with Baylor women's basketball. So really good. Now, here's the behind the curtain part of that. That was about, how long was that? About 5 minutes, wasn't it?
About 5, yeah.
It was about 5 minutes from Nicki, and that was the final question before we went to the final break. And then she starts talking like that, and I'm not going to stop her. I'm not going to interrupt her. And so she finishes that, and we hit a break really quickly after that. But we missed a break in the show because that answer was so detailed and so lengthy. But I think it was fine, in the grand scheme of things. That was what was on her heart, and she got to share that. And I think everybody appreciated her doing that and appreciated hearing her in that moment last night. So very fun to have her and Michael Ford, Baylor track and field coach, on the Coaches Show last night from Rudy's. The women play home against Arizona. It is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock in Foster Pavilion. It is senior night. They'll do senior night recognition prior to the game tomorrow. And you say, wait a second, it's not their final home game. That's right. Their final home game is Monday at 6 against Kansas State. And they made the decision to have senior night on Saturday just because of travel and family and people coming in. And that's why they made tomorrow's game senior night instead of waiting for the final home game on Monday. And that makes a lot of sense. That's very smart to think it through like that. So senior night, and you think about this group of seniors for Baylor women's basketball, what they've done, what they have accomplished. And now this is, down the final stretch run for their time in a Baylor uniform. Bella Fauntleroy and De'Riana Littlepage Buggs, Jana Van Geitenbeek transferred in from Stanford, Kirsten Johnson. But for Buggs and Bella, primarily been here. Coach Collen said her first recruiting class included those two. So tell me that's not going to be – she got a little emotional last night when we were talking about senior night, and it kind of – I know it has before, but it sort of hit her about, those were the first commits and first signees when she got the Baylor job. They've been here this whole time, and now you got to say goodbye to them. Gosh, that's emotional. That hits hard. Some senior nights are more emotional than others, but I think that one's going to be really emotional tomorrow night. So hope you'll come for that. It's a men's women's doubleheader tomorrow at Foster Pavilion as the men play Arizona State at 3, then the women play Arizona at 7 tomorrow in Foster Pavilion. All right, very good. Thanks to Coach Collen. And let's do this. Let's take a break. On the other side, King McClure will join us, former Baylor basketball standout. now doing great things broadcasting. So proud of King and what he is and has done. And we'll visit with him, get his thoughts on Baylor plus the Big 12 and that Houston-Arizona matchup tomorrow in Houston. All that coming up with King McClure after a break. John Morris Show, brought to you in part by Tow King, here to help the next time you're stuck on the road. A locally owned and family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with highly trained operators. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. We're also brought to you by Waco Foundation Repair. That's David Maddox, locally owned and operated. Waco Foundation Repair believes in one principle: one family helping another. They provide a full range of foundation repairs. They don't just do the job, they do it right. WacoFoundationRepair.com is the website. Take a break. Back with us. Stay with us. John Morris Show on a Friday. King McClure joins us when we come back. Stay with us.
If I'm only wearing one suit this summer, it has to be Tuileries Performance Linen. It's wrinkle resistant, machine washable, and built with stretch and breathability that actually moves with you. It'll keep you cool, sharp, and stress-free at your next event.
Some of the best foods that you can eat are very simple foods. So we selected very lean proteins and put them on the best trajectory, the best plane to live a healthy life.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Bidets.com, where we sell mini bidets, not mini bidets.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
It's the President's Day sales event at Allen Samuels, and we're making history. Right now, your choice, a brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Sahara or Gladiator Sport, $10,000 off MSRP. Or step up to adventure with the 2025 Gladiator Rubicon or Mojave, $13,000 off MSRP. Plus, drive home a new 2026 Jeep Compass Latitude for $29,890. Big capability, big savings, limited time. Shop us in Waco or online at allensamuelsdcj.com.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Welcome back. Glad you're with us on this Friday morning. John Morris Show, brought to you in part by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing in Waco. And as promised, joining us now from, I would say ESPN, but kind of far along, ESPN, Peacock, NBC, doing great things. King McClure joins us now. King, welcome to you.
How we doing, J-Mo?
Good. Is your business card, it just gets bigger and bigger with all the people you're working for?
Yeah. It has been expanding a little bit, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm majority with ESPN, but it's expanding a little bit though.
It is. And let me ask you about that. We hadn't really talked about, I mean, you told me early on this year that you'd be doing some games for NBC. ESPN's okay with that, obviously, but they allow you to do that with no problems?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ESPN just takes first precedent, and as long as I communicate with them the few days that NBC wants me to work, I mean, NBC, and I tell everybody else, NBC, Fox, that they know that ESPN takes first precedent, and this is something that we have to, communicate ahead of time, get ahead of it, just in case, so there's no miscommunications or no confusion on the back end. But ESPN's cool with it. I'm on a non-exclusive contract, hoping to change that one day, hopefully soon. But they're good with it. Everybody's good as long as I'm able to work and be able to get games in. Everybody's good.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, it says a lot about you that that you're in demand like that, and with the Big 12 expansion, the games are spread out more, aren't they? I mean, ESPN used to have the bulk of those, and that's changed.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because when you turn on a Big 12 game, it's literally, I mean, you can go to NBC, you can go to Fox, you can go to CBS, you can go to TNT. You can go to ESPN. I mean, it's so many different options, but I think it's been so great for the conference. And then even when you look at, what ESPN has done in the last, 3 out of 4 weeks, there's been College Game Day at a Big 12 school. Yeah. I mean, the conference is doing an amazing job. Brett Yormark is one of the most creative innovators that I've seen, and he's doing a heck of a job as commissioner, and he's taking this conference to a different level.
Yeah, he really has, and always something new. Like that floor we're going to see in Kansas City. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, the floor is insane. I'm still a little confused on how it works, but I'm sure when I get there that I'll be able to get a better understanding of it.
Yeah. No, so the Baylor men, we play in Orlando coming up in a week or so. It's a week from Saturday. And that floor is down in a warehouse. And David Kay was talking to Coach Drew about, hey, you want to go see that? You want to go see if we can walk through and just see what that floor is like? And Coach Drew's all over it, Yeah, so maybe we'll get to see it in person in Orlando. You're doing the game tomorrow, Baylor and Arizona State. I know you're very well versed in both those teams, plus the league as a whole. Baylor is struggling right now. That's pretty obvious. Lost to Kansas State the other night. As you prepare for this game and you look at Baylor, where the Bears are right now, 3-10 in conference play. What do you see? What stands out?
Yeah, I feel like they're playing better as of late. And take away that Kansas State game, but before that, to me, it looked like they were playing a little bit better. I feel like making that switch to get Isaac Williams in the starting lineup and bring Ratai off the bench is what Baylor needed. And granted, Isaac Williams was a guy who he's kind of put in an unfair spot because he wasn't expected to be relied on this much year one. He was a guy that had the potential to, eventually get here, but it wasn't necessarily going to happen this fast. Yeah. And because of Rob Wright, whatever the situation that happened, because Baylor didn't have a point guard, Isaac Williams got thrown into this scenario. And I think he's done a pretty decent job actually, being able to rise up and step up in certain moments. But it's kind of unfair to him because he wasn't supposed to be there. So I think that Coach Drew, and that's one thing I know about him, he's going to try to figure it out. And I think that was the best thing for the team because they started playing better. However, the last game against Kansas State it wasn't a good representation. But before that, they genuinely, I thought they were really playing better.
Yeah, I agree completely. And the K-State game was almost an anomaly, and this is not an excuse, but there's all the stuff surrounding Coach Tang and Matthew Driscoll and all of that going on. And Baylor's the team that comes in with Driscoll's first game as the interim head coach. It was almost like a trap, set the other night, and Baylor couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, that was all bad. And just I mean, the way Kansas State is handling Jerome Tang is all bad too. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a trap game just because there's so many external factors going into that game. So you kind of, get caught up in that in a little bit. But I just hope, number one, they figure it out over there. And number two, I think Scott Drew will try to, towards his last 4 or 5 game stretch, I feel like they have a chance to make a little bit of noise.
Yeah, I agree. I'm always optimistic, you know that, but I think that is still a possibility with this team, even with the games they have left. We still got Arizona to go, and then at Houston, so there's some tough games still on the schedule, aren't there?
Yeah, no, there definitely are. I mean, the game tomorrow is almost one of those must-win games. I mean, Arizona State's a pretty good team. They come off a big win against Texas Tech, but I feel like that's a game in which you have to win if you're Baylor. That's a game that is pretty much, it's a gettable game. I mean, that game with Arizona coming into town, that's going to be a tough one. With them being down, Koa Pete, I mean, I don't know how long or how severe this injury is, but I feel like that could be a game in which, this Arizona team is, they're kind of down a little bit right now. I mean, with Koa Pete down, with them losing recently multiple times, them potentially losing today, not today, tomorrow at Houston. This could be an Arizona team that might be a little vulnerable. So you could potentially try to sneak one there. The Houston game at Houston is going to be extremely tough, though. But those other two, I feel like they're possible. There's possibilities.
That's good. That leads me into what I was going to ask you about Arizona, number 4, at number 2, Houston tomorrow. What a great matchup there. And with or without Koa Pete, that'd be a tough ask for Arizona, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially playing at Houston. And
right.
I think that this game will come down to who's ever front court doesn't get in foul trouble. Because I think that right now it's square even when you look at Krivas, when you look at Awaka versus Tugler and Sanak. And, Arizona does a really good job of rotating their 3 bigs, and they play a very unique style, playing inside out, almost that old school brand of basketball that not a lot of teams play. But Houston also plays a unique style, just the physicality, the toughness, the way that they defend you and just try to speed you up and get you out of your offense. So both teams play a unique style, and going into that game, I thought that Arizona would be the team that would make Houston have to adjust their style to now defend Arizona. However, without Koa Pete, I don't necessarily think that that's the case anymore. So I think that Arizona is going to have to adjust to the way Houston plays. And I do think Houston wins that game, especially with it being at home.
Yeah, being in Houston. And what about that stretch for the Cougars? They lost at Iowa State. Now they host Arizona. Then Monday they turn around and play at Kansas. How about that? 3 top 10 teams in a row for U of H.
Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, that's what Kelvin Sampson prides himself on. And, one thing I always say, J-Mo, is that culture travels.
Yeah.
So no matter where you go, as long as you have a culture, I think that remains consistent. So, Houston's one of those teams that I don't necessarily worry about when they go through these tough stretches because they have an identity, they know who they are, and they are not going to change for anybody.
Yeah.
They're still going to try to be the toughest team. We saw how that game in Allen went last year. It was insane. That game against Iowa State, I mean, that was a tough one. Joshua Jefferson, that pass that he made towards the end to Heisey, to where Heisey didn't even dip the ball on his 3-pointer. I mean, that was as bad of a high-level shot that we will see in all of college basketball all season. So, I mean, Houston is going to be right there. They're going to be in every single game. But I do think that after that loss to Iowa State, the one thing I would hate to see is an angry Kelvin Sampson team. Right. And right now they are angry and they are on their revenge tour because they felt like they should have won that Iowa State game. So I feel bad for Arizona and I feel bad for Kansas because I think the Cougars get both of these wins.
Ooh, both of them. All right.
Yeah, they get both of them.
All there. So Arizona and Houston right now tied for the league lead. And of course, Houston's 2-time defending conference champions. Are they still the team to beat? I mean, you got to knock out the champ to beat the champ. Are they still the number one?
Yeah, I would say they're number one, and primarily due to the fact that Tugler and Sharp and Uzan. I mean, you have guys there who have been in that program and who understand how to win. And I'm a big believer in guards help you win games, especially when it matters the most in March. And Uzan and Sharp understand what it takes to be able to win the biggest games because they got all the way there. They got to the championship. They weren't able to close it out, but they got there. So they understand what it takes. They understand what it means to win. They understand in big moments how to be able to perform, and they're not afraid of that moment because they have that experience. And Kingston Flemings, to me, takes Houston to a different level because, yes, LJ Cryer was good, and he's phenomenal for Kelvin Sampson, the Houston Cougar team. But what he wasn't was he wasn't a top 5 draft pick. So when you have a guy like Kingston Flemings, who you insert as a top 5 draft pick with Uzan, with Sharp, I definitely think that this Houston team is the team to beat for sure.
Wow. All right. Very good. We'll watch that. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Foster Pavilion. Let you know this, your name, your face came up in pregame scout the other night when we were in Manhattan. So Coach Drew had pulled some pictures together showing these players kind of the history with Tang, with Driscoll, and our players, just kind of educating them on the history there. And so he showed some teams going back where they were coaching here, and one of those you were on there, and he pointed you out, and he said, "There's Ty Beard. Look at Ty Beard now." So it was pretty cool. Kind of a trip down memory lane as he did that with the current players.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I just hope with that whole situation, Kansas State is in the wrong, and I'm gonna continue to say that they're in the wrong. And everybody knows that. So I just hope they make it right with Jerome Tang because we love him. He's still part of the family, and he means the world to us. And we wouldn't be Baylor without Jerome Tang.
Yeah, amen to that. Agree with that completely. Well, you're part of the family too. I know you're neutral on the broadcast, but you're part of the family. Hey, and I really appreciate your time, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Of course. Anytime, J-Mo.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. King McClure, he'll have the call for ESPN 2 tomorrow. Baylor and Arizona State working with Mike Monaco. And that is the next game for the Bears. 3 o'clock tip-off tomorrow. We're on the air at 2:30 on the Baylor Sports Media Network, 3 o'clock on ESPN 2 for Baylor and Arizona State. All right, take a break, come back, look ahead, wrap things up. Share some birthdays with you on a Friday as well. Really appreciate King McClure, a guy who played here, knew after his playing career was over, he wanted to get into broadcasting and worked at it even when he was here. And look where he is. I mean, he has done so well. So just so proud for him and what he's accomplished already at a young age. And he's got a long way to go broadcasting college basketball. Take a break. Back with more in just a moment. John Morris Show presented by Alliance Bank, Central Texas, and the Brazos Landing. And we'll be right back.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well service and any kind of warranty issues or those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here. Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
It's a great meditation sport. It's just yourself. You get out here, feeling the rhythm, feeling the rhyme. It's a good time.
Gives me the opportunity to hang out with the fellas for about 5 hours, and I get some solitude, relaxation, and a great time. Malban Golf.
As life goes on, it settles into patterns. But it doesn't have to go that way. You just have to do one thing. Get out of the house. Get out of your comfort zone. Leave room for the unexpected. American Tourister.
For those who want the best, look no further than the Founders Series by Louisiana Grills. If you want the best food, then you need the best grill. Louisiana Grills.
Spring has sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe, honestly.
At DeCampli's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decamplis.com.
Welcome back, John Morris Show on a Friday. Wrap things up on this Friday. Head out looking forward to the weekend. A lot of basketball, men's and women's over the weekend. And let me mention this also on Sunday. Baylor Acrobatics and Tumbling is in action, hosting UMHB. It is 3 o'clock in the Farrell Center. Farrell Center there for Baylor A&T, the #1 program in the world, coached by the GOAT, Felicia Mulkey. Some people we call a GOAT, and it may be a stretch with Felicia. Nobody would argue with that. She is the greatest of all time in the sport of acrobatics and tumbling, and this is their home opener. They've had 2 meets already, both on the road, one at St. Leo in Florida, and then last week at Azusa Pacific in California, and now their home opener against UMHB. Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the Farrell Center. I'll say this, and Coach Fee would say the same thing. If you've never been to an A&T event, just come and you'll be hooked. And it's free admission this year also. So give it a chance, and you'll like the high energy. You'll like the athleticism. Pound for pound, our A&T student athletes are the strongest of any sport on campus. Okay, now that's saying a lot, but pound for pound, it's a true statement. And this is the best program in the country, #1 again this year, and 10-time defending national champions, going for #11 this year. And you get a chance to see them against UMHB on Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the Farrell Center. Basketball, you know about, we've talked about. Baseball is in Round Rock. They'll open that tournament there tonight against Oregon State, then play Purdue tomorrow and Southern Miss coming up on Sunday. Softball is in Clemson, South Carolina, playing in the Clemson Classic. Clemson, the number 24 team in the nation. Baylor will see them tomorrow, at least once tomorrow. They'll play Lipscomb to open the tournament today. Coastal Carolina is in that tournament as well. So softball is on the road, and that's a look at what is going on in Baylor athletics coming up this weekend. Busy weekend as we get here in the spring. So take your choice, and there's no shortage of events to either attend in person or tune into over the course of the weekend. All right, we like to share birthdays with you, and we do that here in the final segment. Today is Chris Istry's birthday. Chris works with us in Baylor Athletics in the business department and does just a terrific job. So happy birthday to Chris Istry today. It's an honor to work with him. He's over in the East Wing of the Simpson Athletic Facility. The East Wing used to be where football was located, but when the Fudge Football Development Center was built, football moved out. That opened up some pretty nice office space over there. So the entire business office moved over there. Cody Hall and Katie Smith and Chris Istry and others. So that is what we refer to as the East Wing now of the Simpson facility. We on the administrative side are on the West Wing of the building. But happy birthday to Chris Istry today. It's Melissa Green Johnson's birthday. She and I worked together at KWTX TV many moons ago. happy birthday to Melissa. It is Big Mike Johnson's birthday today, former Baylor offensive lineman. Now, he's Big Mike. There's also Michael Johnson, track standout at Baylor, but this is Big Mike's birthday. And what a great guy. Great smile, great personality, and State Farm agent up in the Metroplex and doing great things. So happy birthday to Mike Johnson today. Who else? Ken Weethorn's birthday. Folks remember Midway High School coaching, and now with Baylor track and field, Coach Ken Weethorn. Happy birthday to him on this February the 20th. And then Rob Fuentes. Many of you may know Rob. His birthday is today as well. Peek ahead to tomorrow. Craig Harper's birthday comes up. Tomorrow, Craig was our engineer with Baylor football for 25 years. And before that, worked at KWTX TV here in Waco, and then WFAA in Dallas and the Belo Corporation. Now happy, and then Sony, worked for Sony. So very happy in retirement for Craig Harper, and but he'll celebrate his birthday tomorrow. Garrett, anybody to add to the list?
Nobody today.
All right, very good. All right, let me know. So that'll wrap things up for us here on a Friday morning. Again, we appreciate you being with us. We appreciate King McClure being with us. King will be in town to call the Baylor-Arizona State game tomorrow, and we look forward to that. And I hope you'll be there to support the Bears at 3 and the women at the Women Bears, as you will, at 7 o'clock tomorrow night versus Arizona. Fun week. Thanks for being with us. Thanks to Kish's Complete Car Care Center that hosted us for the show yesterday. Nice to be back in studio today. Thanks to Garrett and Brandon behind the scenes. Mike Hamilton was here earlier. Thanks to Corey Dickman as well. We appreciate you being with us. Have a great and safe weekend. We'll reconvene on Monday. John Morris Show from the Rogue Media Network. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
At DeCampli's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
My name is David Maddox, owner of Waco Foundation Repair. Been in business right at 20 years, incorporated since 2003, and nonstop, very busy business to be in. We stay plenty busy with this good old Central Texas ground that constantly moves and does its thing. If you think you have foundation repair issues, call Waco Foundation Repair today.
Spring has sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe honestly.